What is up, guys? Jimmy here with another video. Today I want to talk about Final Fantasy 15 and also Final Fantasy 1, and there's a reason for that. I first want to thank the folks at Square Enix for sending me a copy to check out for you guys, tell you a little bit of my experience with the game. But before I talk about Final Fantasy 15, so it's been around 30 years since the original Final Fantasy was released in the Famicom in Japan. I was introduced to the NES by my best friend Jason in elementary school, and it would be a while before I got my own NES, and of course played Super Mario Brothers, Zelda, Duck Hunt. You know, we played the classics, and eventually he got Final Fantasy, and he had played through it before actually I had been to his house. And one day, you know, I'm there and he's like, Jimmy, I gotta show you a game. It's the best Nintendo game. It's the best game ever. He actually said that. It's the best game ever. And he never talked about that. It's not like he played a game and he goes like, oh, this is the best game ever. He never talked like that. So when he said that, I got super excited. I'm like, well, let me see it. I'm really excited to check this game out. He loads up Final Fantasy. You know, first he shows me the game in the box. It's in brand new, pristine condition. He starts playing it. And as he's playing it, I've never really seen anything quite like it. I didn't get it. I was thinking to myself, Willis, what you talking about? I had no idea what he was talking about because this game, I didn't quite understand it. I didn't understand the battle system, this just new approach. Eventually, I did get it, and I did get it in a big way. And eventually, I'll make another video for you guys talking about my experience with the Final Fantasy series. But to let you guys know, I was first introduced to Final Fantasy for the first game in the series on the NES. And with this video, it's really interesting to see through the past 30 years or so with the expectations and how this game has evolved, and the expectations and the hopes that the series and what it will achieve. And what I mean by that, it's very, very interesting because with the first Final Fantasy game, when it was first launched, when it initially sold, you know, the game was released, and it ended up selling 250,000 copies, okay? Square, or Squaresoft, whatever they were known by back then, Square at the time, when they found out that Final Fantasy sold 250,000 copies, they were thrilled. They were so excited. They're like, you know what, we've got this huge hit on our hands. This performed way better than we were expecting, which is kind of interesting because, of course, back then, a much smaller development team than with the team you have today with Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15, in this first week, it was just announced, I just read a press release by Square Enix, and they said on how Final Fantasy 15 has shipped worldwide 5 million copies. 5 million! So you're talking about, 20 times the amount in the world versus back then, almost 30 years ago when 250,000 copies was a huge deal. Now, like, obviously, if a AAA or almost all AAA titles, if the game sells only 250,000 copies, it's a huge failure because today the budgets for games are just through the roof. But kind of that's my experience with, from Final Fantasy, the first Final Fantasy game. And now, this week, guys, I got Final Fantasy 15. Square Enix sent me a copy, and I got to put some time on it, and I'm really, really impressed. First and foremost, something that, of course, is very new is the battle system. I really enjoy it. I think it's awesome. I love the fact that, of course, with the exploration, that I first really got into loving the direction of being able to explore and do your own thing in Final Fantasy VII, but the battle system, I think, works very well, especially with newcomers. I think this is something, and they even said in the beginning of the game that this is a game for Final Fantasy fans and also first-timers. I love the new battle system. I love the look. I think the open world exploration with these different main characters, you're going about and learning this story and how you're uncovering new scenarios and chapters works very, very well, and it looks gorgeous. I am playing the game on my 4K HDR TV, and with past games on my PS4, like say for instance Ratchet and Clank, it automatically sets into HDR mode, but with Final Fantasy 15, you actually have to go into options and switch that. And as you're exploring the game with these beautiful vistas, beautiful areas to check out, you've got this killer soundtrack, incredible soundtrack, which Final Fantasy, of course, is known for great, fantastic music. And guys, I'm really enjoying the game so far. And of course, through the years and through the sequels and through the different games of Final Fantasy, it's been quite the change since Final Fantasy 1 and Final Fantasy 15. I'm not exactly sure what the file size is for the first Final Fantasy game. I'm not sure if it's 2 megs or 4 megs. I'm not sure what that file size is, but I imagine, Final Fantasy 15, I downloaded on my PS4 and it was around 52 gigabytes. So, you're talking about tens of thousands of copies in terms of data with Final Fantasy 1 versus Final Fantasy 15. Just kind of like the demands, how things have progressed and evolved. Pretty cool. But anyway, guys, there's my quick video I want to share with you guys on the first Final Fantasy game that I had or was introduced to in Final Fantasy 15. Let me know your thoughts, guys, on the game for those of you that have been able to play it. And there'll be a couple links in the video description below, guys, if you're interested in purchasing Final Fantasy 15. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you later.